Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Manifesting Monday here with Uma. Hi, guys. Welcome in. We are doing a special edition today, a spring equinox edition, as spring equinox starts tomorrow, Tuesday, March 19th. And it's significant. It's definitely significant spiritually. So us being in the spiritual community, we definitely want to pay homage to the changing of the seasons, the changing of the guards, if you will. And we're going to get into it. I'm going to talk a little bit about the spring equinox. I have a beautiful essay picked out for us to set our mindsets and get us ready for this beautiful time that we're coming into. And as always, if you happen to be on the Plenty of Fish app, you can watch me live stream this recording while I do it. So congratulations to the Plenty of Fish streamers, viewers. You can always watch me 11 a.m. on Mondays as I record this podcast. All right, so let's kick it off with a little bit of meditation. Set our energy right for the week. So all you need to do is just at this moment in time, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in and exhale. And as the singing bowl plays, just focus on your breathing. Nice deep breaths in and out. Relaxing your neck. Relaxing your shoulders. And just breathe. Deep breath in. Exhale. Well done. So, for those of us in the spiritual community, we tend to look at the spring equinox as the actual new year. I know the rest of the world celebrates the new year in January, but think about it. Have you ever started the year and not felt ready, or also had the energy of the previous year come through with you and made you feel like, wow, I thought this was a new year, but it still feels like the old energy? That's because it is. March signifies the start of the spring season. And what do we know about spring? It is a time of rebirth, awakening, right? The world wakes up. We have the plants, the trees coming out, the animals coming out of hibernation. March is also the month of the first zodiac sign, which we know to be Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So there's a lot of telltale signs in nature that tells us the start of the new year is actually March. Okay. So what does the spring equinox entail? The spring equinox is a joyful holiday centered around rebirth and growth. It is the arrival of spring. The earth is coming alive again. The dark months are now over and we're moving into the warmth of the light. The sun will continue to grow until summer solstice, when it begins its turn inward again. So with this spring equinox, your spirit is waking up with new ideas and new dreams for your life. It is fresh, warm energy, and it has the power to make you feel alive and inspired. This inspiring spring equinox energy is encouraging you to be reborn. Embrace this new beginning. The spring energy will fuel your growth as the days get longer and the sun grows warmer. So if you want to read more about the spring equinox, you can visit theseasonalsoul.com. That is where I got a snippet of the information for you guys about the spring equinox. So the spring equinox is tomorrow. Where you want to be is in the mindset of new growth, transformation, leaving behind things, people, situations that no longer serve you, and embracing the new. Some people might be feeling to become more healthier, maybe do a detox, maybe do a cleanse. Some people might be feeling to go to the gym and start working out, start moving their bodies. That sluggish feeling of winter is leaving. The spring is coming in, the sun is here, the warm weather. For those of you that are on the East Coast in the US, I know we've had some record temperatures in the 70s, almost feels like summer, right? So this is all indicative of the time to change. It's time to shed the weight. Now, the weight can be physical that we've gained over the winter months, but it can also be metaphysical, right? Are there people in your life that are with the drama and trauma? Are there people in your life that want to continue staying low? Are you feeling a natural shift to want to move away from them? This is the energy of the spring equinox. So a lot of times we as people, I don't know why we do this, but we as people, we tend to look at the negative of things. Like there's a saying in the dating community, right? Oh, all these breakups happen in the spring. And then the negative comes with, oh, that's because a person wants to go out there and meet somebody new. And, the winter months are over, cuddle season is over, and now it's time to get somebody new. Partly that, but mostly it's people in relationships as they come into this natural spring energy. It's like a gravitational pull to want to do better for your life. So if you're a person who met someone last year in the fall, in the winter months, time to settle down, time to cuddle, time to hibernate. And then the spring comes around and you're looking at this person, you've spent some time with them, and you realize this is not for me. It's not what I thought it was going to be. And you decide to leave. You're acting in accordance with the spring energy, right? Out with the old, in with the new. The end of winter can feel a little rocky. The energy shifting from an inward focus to outward focus can make you feel a little bit off kilter, especially if you're not ready to come back into the world, especially if you've been enjoying staying in. But as we know in life, all of life requires change. So what you want to do is put your energy in the change right now. Spring equinox is tomorrow. What are you doing to make the changes? For me and my family, we've started changing how we eat, right? All the heavy casseroles, all the heavy foods, stews, right? That we had in the winter to keep us warm, to fill us up. It's now slowing down. We're moving into the spring. We want lighter meals. We can now start planting in our garden. So more vegetables, right? More salad. The fruits are beginning to bear as we move into the warmer months. So we're going to have more fruits. We're going to incorporate that into our diet. We also are going to be working with the energy of moving, right? Thank you, Mrs. Reed. Shouting out Mrs. Reed for sending me a gift during this podcast. Thank you. So as the spring equinox comes in, the idea here is not to be afraid of the changes. Embrace it. If you are the unfortunate person on the back end of a breakup, meaning your person is the one breaking up with you, don't chase after them. Don't fall into that energy of, I need this person, I have to make it work. Accept the changes. This also works for you because your spirit guides are saying, this person's not meant for you. They were here for a season. Remember, people come into your life when there's a season, a reason, or a lifetime. if you lose people, whether they are your romantic mate or your friendships or your workmates, if you lose anybody in this spring season, they were here for a season. What is the message to you? Right? What is the message to you? All right. So that is our message about the spring equinox for our Manifesting Monday podcast. Welcome in, everyone. This Manifesting Monday podcast, we are doing a spring equinox special. So now I have an essay for you to make you think as we go into the spring equinox energy. What is the one word that we associate with spring equinox? In the spiritual community, it is detox, right? A lot of us in the spiritual community would detox ourselves, our mind, our body, our spirits, shedding again the old, welcoming in the new. So, how to detox your mind without having to go completely off the grid is the perfect essay for today. And for those of you that like to read, this is coming from this book, 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna West. Okay, I think I pronounced her name correctly. I'm not sure. All right, so we have 18 tips on how to detox your mind. For those of you watching live on POF, please feel free to put it in the comments what you think about these tips and if you use them to detox your mind. Though we have miles to go in terms of learning what it means to take care of our bodies, we're even further behind on how to take care of our minds. Our brains construct our experiences, and there are so many factors that alter and shift our perspectives that are completely in our control, but totally out of our awareness. Here are a few things you can do to detox your mind, deprogram, and wipe the slate clean now and again. For those of you that are watching live, I'd love to hear which of these that you actually do, because I'm curious. Number one, travel to assimilate to culture. Alter your base point concept of normal. What it will show you is how many behaviors, values, beliefs you've unconsciously adopted from your surroundings and ways you can change them. That is so true. I have traveled to over 30 countries, 6 continents in my lifetime. And the biggest reason I love to travel is because it helps me to stay open-minded, to take into consideration everybody has a different point of view, and my point of view is not the right way. Number 2, create physical solutions for emotional problems. People default on the idea that one emotion will cancel out or fix another. If you're upset, seek a high to eliminate it. But negative emotions are just calls to action that are being ignored through a little mental gymnastics and a lot of justification. Detoxing your mind is letting go of emotional highs in place of creating actual solutions. So creating physical solutions, that's interesting for emotional problems. When we have the negative emotions, it is a call to action. Something's not right. Our alignment is off. Closed-minded people, right, Mrs. Reed? And we have to create ways to deal with the negative emotions. So I do receive that. Number 3, know that emotional toxicity is born of mental resistance. Instead of trying to create a certain emotional experience for yourself, try to practice complete acceptance of whatever you feel in the moment. Mental resistance keeps you in your emotional discomfort, even if it numbs it for a minute. I see this a lot in relationships. As you guys know, I'm a psychic tarot card reader on TikTok, on these streams, and in real life. And a lot of people come to me with readings about relationships where one party wants to let go, they've moved on, they've gotten into a whole new relationship. Some people have even got married, and the person left behind cannot accept that. That is what creates the toxicity, is your mental resistance. I like to practice the path of least resistance, which means when things happen, just accept it. But I got to tell you, I wasn't that way all the time. I used to be that girl where if things happened to me, I couldn't accept it. I couldn't accept it. But then as I got older, I started realizing the path of least resistance is the easiest place to be. Someone doesn't want to be with you. Okay, it's going to hurt. They don't want to be with me, but I'm going to accept it. I'm going to receive it. I'm not going to fight it anymore. And the healing comes faster when you start to accept things. All right. So that is number 3. Our essay, How to Detox Your Mind Without Having to Go Completely Off the Grid. This is our essay today as we celebrate the incoming spring equinox tomorrow. Number 4, identify your tethers. The problems that are in front of you are actually behind you. They are cracks in your foundation that are holding you back. Stop trying to dismantle symptoms. Go back and identify the causes. This is what I like to say, my distractors, right? When problems come up, they distract. They go and scroll Instagram for 10 hours. They play video games. They hang out with their friends. They go shopping. They do not want to address what is going on, but that is just creating more mental clutter and just messing up your mind. I have a question. How many of you walk around feeling scattered, confused, brain fog, mind fog? I've started to learn as I got older that a lot of that is due to the things that I am not addressing. I used to think, oh, you're getting older. And maybe for some of us, Alzheimer's setting in and whatnot. But for some of us, it actually can be a diet change. Drinking less alcohol. Alcohol gives you brain fog. We know that. Meditating, working out, these things create clarity. So maybe you need to defog the brain. Number 5, how to have a mental detox. Go for a long drive and let yourself get lost. How many of you do that? Because I love doing that. Drive through neighborhoods you never would have known existed. See how other people live. See them come home from work and what their living rooms look like from the outside. It will comfort you in that you'll realize how small you are in a more practical way than just staring at the ocean. You don't know what you don't know. So their advice here is sometimes when you go for that long drive, not through the country, not to the beach, but through neighborhoods and see how other people are living, it might make you feel better because you realize we're all just trying our best, right? There's no right or wrong way to do it. And the way you're doing it is just fine. Number 6, how to detox your mind. Try rearranging your furniture. Your brain constructs your experience through props and signals that those props fire off. You are continually subconsciously triggering negative or stagnant associations because of how your brain processes your surroundings. Change them, change how you think, change what you feel. Oh, that's a really good point. Number 7, do a mental purge. Write down whatever weird thoughts continually cross your mind or the little incoherent bits that are clogging your head. Just getting them out will give you relief. I'm going to add to that and say try therapy, because I know I do have these little cogs in the system, if you will, mental cogs. And I love sitting with my therapist and talking to her about what I think, what I feel, and having her give me some clarity and explanation into it. So that is a very helpful thing. Number 8, how to detox your mind, restructure your digital life. Yikes, for those of us that are digital content creators. It's not realistic to be forever disconnected, but it's also not realistic to keep things that don't serve you positively in your social feeds and expect it not to affect you. Instead of just unfollowing what you don't want to see, follow positive accounts, groups, organizations that you do. I started recently doing this on my Facebook page. I started following these travel these travel accounts that show you these beautiful scenery from different countries around the world. I started following more vegetarian, healthy, conscious living recipes, cooking channels, to post those on my timeline so I can look at them. It makes me feel good. And yes, I have also started cutting out my friends that tend to, I had this one friend I cut out and they noticed it. I don't know how, because, you know, when you have so many followers, how do you know who unfollows you? And they wrote me and said, is there any reason why you stopped following me? And I had to be honest and say, yeah, you know, the stuff that you write just makes me feel sad on the inside. And when I get a free moment to scroll Instagram or TikTok, I want to see happy things. I want to see things that bring me joy. So if you do change your agenda, I'm happy to follow you again. Never heard from them again, but I'm glad I stood up for myself, right? All right, ways to detox your mind, Spring Equinox edition. Number 9, notice your unconscious movements. Notice your feet walking and how you are not deciding to lift one up and forward. And yet, because your mind said, okay, self, let's get to this point today, you begin to go. Consider your morning intentions similarly. That is amazing, because I do start my day with meditation, with meditation, mantra, yoga, tarot, journaling. And it reaches a point where it becomes like walking, where it just that's your norm. That's what you're going to do, you know? So make your positive movements become so natural to you that they become your unconscious movements. That is going to help to detox your mind. And finally, number 10, cleanse your space emotionally. Consider the emotional attachment you have to the things you keep around. Did you buy those clothes to be someone you're not? Do you have decor around your apartment that you got during a particularly crappy time in your life and you've now outgrown? Let those things go, but decide what to let go by thinking about what they make you feel. That's such a great point to end on for today, because with the spring equinox comes spring cleaning. So this is a great time to start. We already have like 8 bags of stuff in the garage to take to Salvation Army. We've started throwing things out, but it's a great idea to detox your home. Not only will it feel clearer, cleaner to you energetically, it's also going to attract in more, because that's how the law of attraction works. All right. You got to let go to let in. Now, like I said, there were 18 points, but we're going to stop here at 10. And for those of you that want to know the rest, you can buy the book, 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna Wiest. Welcome in, everyone. This is the Spring Equinox edition of our Manifesting Monday podcast. So happy to have you guys here. Okay. So we are going to pull our affirmations for this incoming spring equinox. Everybody has like a different way of describing affirmations. Like they say, it's positive words. It just affects your soul in a positive way. For me, affirmations are, I think of it as a note to me from my higher self, you know, because there's 2 parts to us. The ego part of us that's concerned with the day-to-day, gotta get the kids to school, gotta go grocery shopping, gotta do laundry. And then there's the higher self of us. We are here for the experience, right? So I'm going to pull 3 cards for your affirmations of the week. And you get to choose card 1, card 2, card 3. And let's find out what your higher self is saying to you for the spring equinox. Okay, so I'm going to choose card 3 today. So for those of you that chose card 1, here is your affirmation of the day. I am open. I am open. My higher guidance communicates with me through ideas. I will stay open to receiving messages everywhere. So for those of you that chose card 1, your spirit, your higher self is saying, hey, I'm communicating with you. You got to start listening to me, right? And this communication I'm giving you, I'm showing you all the signs everywhere. Start paying attention. That is the message for those of you that chose affirmation 1. For those of you that chose affirmation 2, I am fulfilled. I am fulfilled. Everything in my life is happening for me. Your higher self, for those of you that chose card 2, is reminding you that everything is good. Whether you consider it good, bad, or ugly, it is good. And all of this is adding to your experience of life. So rejoice in that. Okay? Affirmation 2. And for those of us that chose affirmation 3, I am intentional. I am intentional. I'm consciously creating a life I love. I am consciously creating a life I love. So I love that. My higher self is saying to me that we are using intention this time around. And for the rest of the year, this spring equinox energy, we are choosing how we want to show up. We are choosing the experiences we indulge in. If it's light, if it's airy, if it's fun, if it's love, if it's peaceful, I choose it. If it's heavier, if it's dark, if it's negative, if it's traumatic, I resist it. I walk away from it. I ignore it. Okay. Be intentional. So those are the affirmations for this spring equinox. Okay. So I think this is a great time to move into our law of attraction message of the week. Everything that I'm doing today is specifically giving you the information you need to have you have a great start to this spring equinox. Remember, spring equinox is the start of the new season. So we are doing everything we can to equip you with all the right energy so that you can start your spring equinox in a positive way. So our law of attraction message today, I am a vibrational being, vibrationally emanating desires. I am a vibrational being, vibrationally emanating desires. You live in a vibrational universe that is managed by the law of attraction. The law of attraction is bringing vibrations that are alike together. And so it is important for you to acknowledge that you are vibrational beings constantly emanating vibrational signals of desires. Thank you. And when from your human form, you offer a vibration of what you want because you know what you don't want, so you know what you do want, you cannot contemplate any subject without equal components of wanted and unwanted appearing vibrationally in your experience. I love this card for this week because I feel like I keep trying to say this to people, even when bad things happen to you, it's still good. It's still good. You know why? Because when you, let's say you go into a relationship and 2 months in, you're like, oh, there's too many red flags. This is not it for me. It's not a bad thing you dated that person. They have helped you in your journey to finding Mr. or Mrs. Right. You guys understand that? They're in because they help you by showing you what you don't want. Oh, I don't like somebody who eats as unhealthy as they do. I want to be healthy. I want to be with somebody who eats healthy. Oh, every time we talk on the phone, they're always talking negatively about someone. I don't really want that from my life. I tend to see people with love and light in my heart. So be aware that everything is helping to create the life that you're living. You are a vibrational being, vibrationally emanating desires. And it's okay that sometimes your desires are wrong. Okay. You could think, oh, I really want that job. I really, really, all my friends work there. It's a nice building. It's not too far from the house. Oh, I really, 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 really want that job. And through law of attraction, you get that job. You go to that job, the coffee is horrible. The people are mean. The work is too much. You have no social life. You're exhausted every day when you come home. And that pay that you thought was going to be so great after taxes is not that great, especially not for the hours that you work, right? Does that mean that you made a bad decision? No, that was still a right decision. But it now shows you this is not the job that you want. This is not what you want. You know, guys, I was in corporate healthcare for a large part of my life after I came out of college. I had a master's in healthcare management, and I thought that's what I wanted. I wanted to work in the hospital. I wanted to be a CEO of a hospital. I was on track for that. That's where I was going for. But in actually working in that setting, you are surrounded more by the red tape, the politics, right? The sickness, of course, the disease, the ill health, right? Yeah. And then I realized I don't want to be in corporate healthcare. I don't want to, but what did I like doing at that hospital? I liked helping the patients. I liked bringing some calm to them concerning their finances. I was in the financial registration department. You know, I worked with the insurance companies and you as a patient to figure out what's covered, what's not covered, what you got to pay. And it's like, I like doing that because I like helping people kind of have some ease about what, you know, the financial aspects of what they have to go through. I liked giving people, you know, a cup of water or a blanket or taking care of people. So when I left corporate healthcare, I said, what can I do? What profession can I do that would make me feel better? Massage. And that's how I got into massage therapy. And that's how I became a massage therapist. Weird side note, yesterday I had a little retreat with my friends for the spring equinox happening tomorrow. And I gave one of my friends my first massage I have like professionally given since 2018. 2018 was the last time I gave an actual massage. And I'm ready to bring back massages to what I offer at my center because I miss it. I miss making people feel good, you know? So you are a vibrational being, vibrationally emanating desires. Your desires are all good. Now, if your desires take you down a path and you realize this is not the path for me, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to get out of that, whether it's a job, a relationship, you know, a habit. Like I remember one time I wanted to go vegetarian and 6 months in, I was like, this is not for me. God bless to all of you who are vegetarian and vegan. It is not for Uma. Okay. And I allowed myself to get out of it. But you know what I do now? I'll have like a day or two every week where I'm just completely vegetarian because I do. I love the vegetarian dishes. I love the food. It's very flavorful. And when you prepare vegetarian meals correctly, it can be very, very nice, you know? So I give my gut a rest once or twice a week, no meat for the day, give it a rest, plants and vegetables, fruits, natural, and I keep it moving. So remember, your desires are leading you to what you really want. And you have to decide for yourself, once you go down that road, if that is truly what you want or not. All right. That brings us to the end of our Manifesting Monday podcast. Like I said, it was a special edition today, a spring equinox edition to get you and your mindset right for this new year, starting tomorrow, our new spiritual year. If anyone would like a reading, okay, you can book me for a reading. It's 15 minutes is all you need. It's 55 for 15 minutes. And I'm going to do a 10-card spread as to what you need to know as you enter into the spring equinox period. All right. And it'll be great if you get it done today, tomorrow, or this week. Let's join in on this new energy and see what your spirit guides have to say as we move forward into the spiritual new year. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Much love to you and happy spring equinox.